Hello and welcome everybody, this is Botany and Board. I'm Wyatt.
And I'm Bailey.
And today we're going to be playing Red Rising, a Jamie Stegmaier and Alexander Schmidt game. Now let's take a look at the board. To the board! Okay, so we're just going to go through a quick game overview. Now, this game has 3 triggers that cause end-game scoring. One of the triggers is the fleet track. As you can see at the top, as you get to 7 being the magic number throughout this theme. As you get to 7, that is one trigger to endgame scoring. The other trigger is over here at the Institute. When you get 7 influence cubes, that then will also be a trigger to endgame scoring. The last option is to gain 7 helium. When you get 7 helium onto your player card, that could also trigger endgame scoring. Endgame scoring specifically is caused when one player gets 2 of those options by themselves, or if you're playing with a multitude of players and all 3 of those categories are triggered at 7. So now a quick card playthrough. We're going to look at a card first because I think that is pertinent, and we're going to turn it the right way so you can see it. Okay, so this is Invictus. As we see in the top left, it is worth 19 points. As we see here, where my finger is tapping, it says, if deployed on Mars, advance once on the fleet track. Each card has different iconography that when deployed, this would then activate. It may tell you to do something that is slightly different than the general way a card is played, but I'm going to show you the general way. At the end game scoring, this very bottom part, if this card is in your hand, you will do these actions. Typically low cards in value at the top typically get an advantage at the bottom that scores them higher. If it's a very high scoring card, typically it has a negative thing that if you don't fulfill its requirements, you will lose points. Okay, so now you have 2 card actions. I can deploy a card, or I can scout for a card. If I was to deploy a card, so I'm going to deploy Invictus, I will then fulfill the iconography that it says. It says, if deployed on Mars, advance once on the fleet track. I didn't deploy it on Mars. Hypothetically, just for fun, let's say I did. So I deployed it on Mars. I then get to move my guy up 1 on the fleet track. Then I get to choose a card from the top of one of the other columns, whether it's Jupiter, Luna, or the Institute. You do not grab a card from the same column you placed your card.
You can also grab from the top of the deck.
And that is the third option. If I was to grab one of these cards, I then would get the above iconography. So if I pull from Jupiter, I would move 1 on the fleet track. If I pull from Luna, I get the Sovereign token. The Sovereign token typically interacts with your player card to give you advantageous movements. If I was to pull from the Institute, I take one of my Institute cubes and I place it in there, or my influence cubes. And I gain an influence at the Institute. The last option, as Bailey had said, I could draw blind if I don't like any of the cards at hand. When you draw a card at blind, notice that we did have a resource that we pulled from each one. Since that doesn't apply here, I gain the card and then roll this cube. This cube will give you a variety of options. In this case,
known as a die. This cube, roll the cube.
Die. What are we, the dice tower? No. So you roll this die and it gives you a variety of options. And they kind of correspond with everything we just talked about. You have influence, you have the fleet track, you have the sovereign token, you have this one observes a card and then you get to place it. And the last one is to banish a card. And could you clarify for me, what was, you banish which card again?
A card from a top of one of the locations.
Not from your hand.
Not
but
your own.
You don't banish your own card, but one from the top of another deck. Okay, the last thing as an option, so that was deploy a card option. If I was to scout a card. So if I scout, typically I'm looking at the board and I go, you know what, the cards in my hand say I need, and I should turn these over. Say that I need, let's see, if there are 4 or few banished cards and a sovereign token, let's see if there, okay. So maybe something like this. This one says, I get 5 extra points for each violet and pink. I'm looking around and I see no violets or pinks. So then, what will I do? That's what you will do. You will scout. So we'll reach ahead and we'll scout a card. When you pull that card over, you're like, that's okay. It's not exactly what I wanted, but you get to place it wherever you want. This is not a deployable card. And I want to make that distinction. Before, when I pulled from my hand and laid a card down, I did that action. When you scout a card, you place a card, and it is not a deploy. So I then place the card, don't fulfill the action, but I still get the resource above. So in this scenario, I get to move 1. Had I put it in the other categories, those 2 would have applied. I think that is the briefest of overviews for this. The one thing I will mention is that at the end of the game, on the scoring track, typically you want to have around 7 cards. For every card over 7, because 7 is a common theme in this game, 7 in the fleet track is a trigger, 7 on the influence track is a trigger, 7 helium is a trigger for in-game scoring. At the in-game scoring, if you have over 7 cards, you get penalized -10 per card, and as Bailey and I have discussed in the past, that is not always an issue. Sometimes your cards score way more than 10 points, but just be aware that is a negative value once you pass 7.
Yeah, but if you have a 30-point card, who cares if it's -10?
Yeah, might as well take the extra 20.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're going to take a quick pause and we'll go to gameplay. Okay, and we're back for gameplay. So before we started the game, we relayed out all the cards after we shuffled, and
why it's not
I tried to cheat
on the fleet track.
And also we handed out 5 cards because each player starts with a 5-card hand.
Yes. Hope mine are good.
Hope. Oh, what did we decide was who goes first in this? I can't quite remember.
Since neither one of us have Apollo, so the faction Apollo always goes first normally.
And I'm Ceres or Ceres.
Yes, Ceres. And I'm Jupiter.
This is Red Rising is actually based on a book series, and we just haven't read it, so I'm sure it's very, very good, but I don't know much about it.
Yes. And you don't have to play, but it probably would be handy.
It'd be fun.
Just to see the characters, or maybe you'd want someone just for fun.
Sure.
Okay. So reading over my what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Deanna. And I want to read, though, some of the other people,
So you guys will find this funny, but maybe you will. This game is not exactly quick, and this is the 3rd time we've played this game because we accidentally had a major... It wasn't the worst, but we had a mic issue, so we're actually re-recording this. Because I think it would be better if you just had nothing to bug you while you watched me. Otherwise, I'm sure you would tell me that it was bugging you.
Okay, I'm going to deploy Deanna on the Institute. So on her deploy ability, right down here, it says I gain 1 helium. So 1 helium I get. Then next, since I have put down a card, I need to replenish my hand. So I need to pick one, either from the top of these other locations or the top of the deck. Yep. This is why it said in his beautiful
eloquently
overview.
She made it sound better just now, but I mean, I also said that. In a number of words.
Okay, I'm in between 2. I like both of these.
I think it was the word replenish that made her sound better. I should have said replenish my hand. In hindsight, I wish I would have done that.
No one has ever told me ever that I did anything good as far as word-wise. Verbiage. Yeah, okay. So I picked up from Luna, which means I activate Luna's ability, which gives me the Sovereign Token.
The Sovereign Token.
And the Sovereign Token is not only worth 10 points at the end of the game, whoever has control of it, it also is activating my ability. So Jupiter, and I've never played Jupiter before. It's my first time playing Jupiter.
Oh, yeah.
And we've played this a decent amount of time. I think we're on play 10.
That's probably about right.
So whenever you gain the Sovereign Token, even if you already have it, advance 1 on the fleet track. So I should be good on the fleet track, hopefully. So.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Oh, I see. I can't do that yet. I misread it. I think I might go ahead and scout.
We play with honor that he won't look over here and, like,
Yeah.
read
I don't
my
like
stuff.
to use the trays as much because I want you to see my hand, but the trays are convenient. This is the collector edition, and so we do have like nice quality components, and they came with little tray holders for each of the card deck. But to be fair, I would have to really know this game or scrutinize the text. I'd have to stare for a while before I could like be like, oh, this is what she's going for, because I don't remember them. Okay, so I'm gonna place Darrow on the fleet track.
Okay.
And I will move up one.
Nope. Oh, sorry. Did you draw him from blind?
Yeah, I scouted.
Sorry, I missed that. I thought you took it from your hand. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
How did you get up on the fleet track?
Because I stole the sovereign token.
Oh, okay.
And every time I get it.
That's Jupiter's ability. Okay.
Yes.
I haven't read Jupiter's card. I probably should.
I am like...
You're like always on the fleet track. Okay.
Just fleet.
She's like Fleetwood Mac.
On,
what's a Fleetwood Mac song? Don't you like Fleetwood Mac?
Feels like that song.
Oh, feels like the first time.
No, not that one.
No? Well, the way you said it.
Timeless, whatever. Don't make me sing. We're going to have to cut that out.
Bailey has a cold, and that's why I was allowed to do the intro today, and I hope I did it well, but I'm kind of curious about this singing career she's got going on.
Maybe, like, with the voice, will be someone different. Maybe I should be Cher.
She could be like Ray Charles. What a wonderful world.
Oh, you could put an editor on me.
Now I don't want to. Now I just want that to stand alone.
No, never. I don't
That'd
know
be
how to do
hilarious if I do have a Ray Charles filter that you could do.
Okay. Anyways, don't distract me from my...
Was that a good Ray Charles impersonation?
Okay. I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead with this card. I am going to play him down on top of DNA, actually. So I'm going to deploy him on the Institute. Gain 1 helium.
Yep. She's all over the helium and Fleetwooding across the fleet track.
And it says if some other stuff that I don't achieve. So the next I'm going to pick up again from Luna.
Okay. So
when I pick up from Luna, I already have the Sovereign token, but it still activates my ability, which will make me move 1 up on the fleet track. So how I kind of do things while he's like mapping out his turn, I'll tell you what I'm doing over here. So I kind of go by each person has, as Wyatt said, the points at the top and then the ability at the bottom. So usually if I can make a combo, which these two are doing for each other, they really like each other. As you can see in this iconography right here, this is actually this lady's face. And so it tells you like quickly that, oh, she wants her. And so then this one is going to score me currently, spoiler alert, 35 points. So I'm like, nope, that's good. So kind of what I go for, my goal on cards, is as soon as I can kind of make that character be 25 to, really I try to shoot for 30. If I'm like, if I got 30, that's good. Anywhere around that. So that's kind of where I go. And then I'm just trying to make a set and then lock that in. And then you kind of look at your other cards to try to figure out, okay, what I want to go for now.
I'm going to go ahead and play this card here. Banish the card directly under this one.
The online gambler. She's fun, though.
She is fun.
I wanted to do her ability, but
and we did it last time, actually. I did it and succeeded. Banish the card directly under that one. And it doesn't apply to any of those. The Jackal or Nero. You may also choose an opponent. If the banished card is one of those people, I can choose an opponent to do so, and they can banish one of their cards. But I'm not going to do that. And what is this one? I'll go ahead and take Dancer. And that will give me 1 influence.
What about Prancer and Vixen?
I know. I'm looking for them. They're on the red team, apparently.
Okay. My turn now. Is that right?
Yep. Oh, shout out to Red Rising, because it is by part of it, at least. I'm not sure how much a part of it, but Jamie Stegmeyer is a local Missourian from St. Louis. So, hello, Jamie Stegmeyer. This is the second game that you have created that we are playing.
That we really like.
We
love viticulture and we love Red Rising. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this on the Institute because it says if deployed on the Institute, advance 1 on the fleet track.
Oh, nice.
I will do that. And then I will pick up from somewhere else.
I messed up. I was supposed to start with an extra card.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna
now the worlds. Oh, the sands of time.
That's my bad.
Have like
but my
faltered.
character card, I was supposed to start with 6, and I probably should read the rest of it. Okay, yeah. So I get an extra card at the beginning.
Okay, so I picked up from Jupiter, which it gets me up on the fleet track again. I'm totally gonna get to 10. Calling it now.
Yeah, you're booking. Man, this game's gonna be over before I even play a card. By the way,
only on the one track.
I smoked Baley on the one with the mic issue, and it was phenomenal. And I really wish the audio would have been better because I would have loved for you to see it. But she beat me the time before when we messed up on the recording.
We played 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
So White scored 240 and I scored 278. We tied on card points. We both had 199. Yep. We both just did 7 cards only.
Mm-hmm. And then tell them about today.
And then today.
tell them about today.
And then today,
you took the red guy.
He scored 338.
Which is the all-time high we've ever done so far.
I had a 318, so I'm close. Once I had a 318. So he had a 338 to 262 was my score. So, but he had 273 points on his cards. And he did have 2 extra. So he had 9 cards, so he did get negative 20 points for that. But 273 is a tall order of card points. And he also did really well with helium, and he last minute snaked out the influence. So we had the same amount. And he was Apollo, and you get to go the first and the last turn. And then he snuck the influence out, which also swung one of my guys. I needed to have the exact same amount of influence because the Democrat, he wants that. And I had done that. And then he ruined it. The very last
I sure did. I'm going to go ahead and scout. I've looked over my cards. I don't think I have a hand that's really playing favorably for me right now. So, I got the Hacker. And I'm going to go ahead and play it on the Institute and give myself an influence token. Okay, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to deploy her on Luna.
Okay.
So she says choose up to 3 banished cards, so there's only 1, and place each of them on the top or the bottom of the deck. So let me read this lady, see if I want her to come back. Put her at the top of the deck. She's in.
She's a gambler.
I like her.
Yeah.
She passed the test.
Okay.
All right, so I did that, so now I get to pick up somebody, and I would like to pick up I want to get the Hacker, and I'm going to place on the Institute instead.
Okay. Okay.
And
I'll take the Counselor, and I get the Sovereign token. And whenever I gain the Sovereign token, banish any 1 card from a location of your choice. At the end of game, banish 1 card from your hand. So I am going to... If we wanted to
politically take a vote, I feel like this guy doesn't seem that great.
I agree. That's why I put him there. I was trying to get him out of my hand.
I know. I just meant if you wanted to have a democratic,
We're not doing that. Banish.
Oh, I like that one.
And I believe... Go ahead. Your turn.
I'm going to just deploy this to Luna. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. I couldn't do his ability. It's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up the Deanna.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're going to add 1 to the Institute.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and scout. And there's that online gambler. I'm going to go ahead and play the online gambler here and gain 1 to Fleet.
Darrow.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put him down on top of gold. So it says gain any non-gold. I wanted that one. But I didn't want to banish him.
Darrow unless you deployed him on a gold. So he doesn't get banished.
Let me see if I want this guy or the Pulse.
So you're going to have to take... Actually, the Pulse has been really nice for me. I've used... Orange players typically allow you to act like there's some specific guy. So for the cards that are really high point cards, they often say they need to be with so-and-so. So rather than find whoever that name was, I just pick up an orange card.
Yeah. So I'll need to maybe get a black later, but okay, that's fine. That way I don't have to completely ban Darrow. Okay, so because he will...
You have to take that orange card.
Yes, I will take the orange card, but he gets to live because
Yes.
if I didn't deploy him on a gold, he was going to die, and I didn't want him to die.
Correct.
So I get to do that. Now I still get to pick up a thing, and I want the Gambler.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and play this guy and pick up Darrow. So this guy says move a copper or white from any location. You may gain that card if you do end your turn, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do instead is, I guess nothing, I'm just playing him. And then I'm going to pull from Mars and get a helium. Do I not have any other helium?
Okay, and I'm trying to decide where I want to deploy it. Okay, so the Seer.
Oh, white card.
This girl's creepy.
Something different.
Like that.
I would have did it like this. The Seer.
I know, but I was doing my
Super
eyes.
creepy. Oh, you're doing it eyes. Yeah, she's pretty spooky.
I can't like roll them back in my head, but if I could.
Then I wouldn't be married to her because that's creepy.
Okay. So, Seer, I'm going to put on Mars, which will allow me to get a helium.
To get more candy bars.
Actually, I'm going to put her on the Institute because I'm going to go.
Okay, did you put that stuff back? Okay.
Yes, I did. I dropped it right back down.
You gotta keep an eye on this one. I'm going to go ahead and play Trig and grab the Seer. And then I will gain an influence.
I'll scout again. So I found a gold card. And I'm going to put her on the Institute.
I'm going to go ahead and play Pax here. And I'm going to draw blind.
And roll the die.
And roll the die.
Or this cube, is what I like to call it.
The cube. I get to roll the cube. And it was a fleet track. Okay.
I'm going to scout. Okay. The psychologist. That was a pathologist. Okay. So I scouted to Luna, so I'm going to steal the sovereign token back and go up on the fleet track.
Okay.
Based on my ability.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and scout. And, ooh, it's an obsidian. Don't you like that one?
I do. I am looking for one of
And
those.
I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Institute.
I will do this. I will deploy onto the Institute. It says you may gain an obsidian from this location if you do in your turn. So I will take him. Shuffle. He is pretty cool, I know, but they could also see it over there.
He is very neat looking.
Yeah, he's cool.
I'm going to go ahead and play this card. And it says I can banish a non-gold card from my hand and gain a banished gold. There's none of those available. So I'm just playing her. I'm going to draw blind.
Okay.
And I got this guy, and I'm going to roll the die. And I gain 1 to influence. It is your turn.
Yeah, so I can give up on Deanna for a little bit.
Okay.
So I am going to play her on Mars.
Okay.
Because I think she'd like that.
Who does she want to pick up?
Oh, I'll pick up him because he likes an obsidian. Now that I got one of those.
There you go.
Okay.
Good.
Great. Yes. Grand.
And she probably scores more points with it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this gardener. And I'm going to pull Deanna, which will get me a helium.
Okay, so I'm going to deploy. Or scout, I mean.
You're going to scout.
I'm burying them more, placing it on the Institute.
Okay. I'm going to play this. And it says, gain 1 helium. if I have 2 other red cards, reveal them to gain 2 more helium. I do.
Yep.
Okay. I do. That's why I wanted Deanna the whole time was helium.
Well, you got some other good things.
I sure did. Blind. Okay, and then I'm going to roll my die. And I got a banish. So I'm going to go ahead, because Karnas has been annoying. I agree with Baley. This is a team decision. I'm just tired of seeing it.
I know. We could have exiled him a long time ago.
Yeah. Man, you would have loved to have this card that I have. It's all about Fleet Track for its in-game story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's Virga. It's a blue card, and she's the pilot.
Yes.
Yeah, and the
I've
pilot,
had her before.
Like, exponentially wants this Fleet Track
yeah,
stuff.
and you had her?
Yeah.
I was hoping that she'd still be there. I've had her before. Okay. Whose turn is it? My turn. You just did that. Actually, in that regard, I'm going to scout. Okay, and I am going to put him on the Institute.
Okay. And scout this turn as well.
The Ambassador. I remember him from last time.
This guy was fun.
He's not very good for end scoring, but man, you pick him up and use his deploy ability, he's really good. Yeah. I'm going to get rid of my hacker and place him down
on Mars.
On Mars.
Okay.
Yes, and then it says reveal the top card of the deck, either banish it or place it on top of another location. And I have yes, and I would like to place that on another location. So I'll just put that, and I want to do it where I want to pick up. So I'm going to put it over here, the Institute. And then I'm actually going to, my card I pick up, because it doesn't say in my turn, I'm going to pick up the Invictus. So, and I get to put a cube on the Institute. So I am now at 7. So I have achieved one of the triggers, but again, one person has to achieve 2 of them in order to trigger in-game.
Try to get rid of Darrow.
Oh, you don't even like Darrow anymore.
No, it says gain any other non-gold from this location. Banish Darrow unless you deployed him on a gold. And I didn't, so I'm going to banish Darrow. And I think I kind of want... yeah, so I think I'm going to take the Dancer, and works with one of my other cards that I have. And since Baley's so close to ending, and she wants that orange, I think, because she's got this weird look like... don't take this orange.
You already picked up a card.
Yeah, see, she's like really...
he picked it up, it's done.
Okay, and now I get to... so that was the card hand. I swapped out a card there based on... I banished one, grabbed one. Now I get to choose from one of the other categories. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the Investor.
And go up on the Fleet Track.
Yes.
Yep. I am going to trigger the end game by deploying on Luna, which will give me the Sovereign token, which I already have, which allows me to advance up on the Fleet Track, which is what is going to trigger the actual end game. But yes, I did want this, though. I'm trying to decide if I should have triggered it quite so fast or if I should have.
No, I think this is a smart move because that makes this card worthless, honestly. So I have to banish a card. So I'm going to banish a card as per my person's hand. Yeah, and Baley, by doing that, also thwarted, like, Virga wanted me to get to 6 to 8 to get extra points as a minimum. And so I think Baley probably won this game, but let's go ahead and we'll score it up.
Let's score it up.
So we were 1-1, and I have the highest score of anybody totaled. But
he's like, just clearing that up. I don't know that I did that well with my points. So before my gambler is what we don't know.
Oh yeah, we don't know what she's gonna do.
It's gonna be.
Let's do mine first.
So let's do you first, and then I'll be the gambler for the end. This will be exciting.
Ooh, good. This was close. All right. So there's only 4 banished cards, and it was lucky because I had to banish one of them. All right, end game scoring. If Bailey would be so kind to pull out a pen and
Here's
write down the scores. Okay.
Banished.
Yes. I'll show them if it needs to be shown.
Ooh, wait, while we're zoomed in,
Okay.
can we do the plant spotlight?
Sure. Do the plant spotlight.
Oh, wow.
Looks
Yeah, look at all that red. So, red.
I'll show this one. Red Rising. Okay.
Mm.
One of these plants, the underside, has a red leaf. What was this one called?
Peperomia Rosso.
Peperomia Rosso.
I made this out of one leaf out of one of my mother plants.
Mm-hmm.
So you just stick the little leaf in dirt, it'll root, and then a whole new plant will sprout out. And this is how beautiful and adorable and cute.
It does look nice.
It is, yes. Little micro plant.
Okay.
And yeah, so it has a nice green foliage on the top. Super easy to care for, bright and direct light.
It's very textured in real life.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you can glean that from the picture, but I mean, I can show it up closer, but it is highly textured.
Yes. Oh, so cute.
Does
anybody else love it? I love it. I love plants, obviously.
Yeah, and look at that sheen, and it's got a red underneath, and that's why Bailey chose it for Red Rising.
And
this
also,
one is super cool.
What's Red Rising is this Fitnay nerve plant. So this is actually really common. You can get this at Home Depot, anywhere, like super duper cheap.
Yeah.
So it comes in red and in white. And yeah, I got this actually in a pack of like 6 micro plants for like $25, and that was one of them.
Looks really nice.
Yes.
So this is a nerve plant. Yes. A red nerve.
Fitnay nerve plant.
Fitnay nerve plant.
It's funny because they kind of throw a fit. So if you don't water them, so you can already see mine's like crinkling a little bit. So normally when your leaves curl, that's kind of a sign that you need to water them. Mm-hmm. So see how this one's like curling a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really dramatic. Like it will literally throw a fit. So if you like, if I
it's
let
lost
tomorrow,
its nerve.
Yes, it lost its nerve.
That's how it got its name. I don't know that to be true, but it probably is.
Yeah, so I kid you not. So tomorrow morning, say it's just like it's thirsty, and this is like the first sign. It's so dramatic. All of these will just be like, and you're like, oh my god, I killed my plant. Like, she's a hot mess, this girl here. Yeah.
But then you water it and it perks right back up.
Yeah, and then you water it and she's like, I'm fine. Overreaction.
It's like a hangry friend.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is your hangry friend.
So that was a red nerve
plant.
And this one was a
Peperomia Rosso.
Which is
red in Spanish.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. That sounds accurate to me.
Hope so.
Okay. On to scoring.
Hopefully I win.
And I will have Bailey do the scoring. So,
put these
first card that I have is... man. We might as well. This guy is worth... Oh, man.
Okay, there we go.
You tell me when you're ready.
I think that looks nice.
That looks fantastic.
Just taking a second to frame.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a second.
Okay. We can frame it over here. Okay. Oh. So, now, here we go, and this is, the counselor is worth 35, and -1 for each banished card.
Oh, we didn't banish very many.
We didn't.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, I get 31. Okay. My next card, I'm just going to lay it on top, is 9 plus 26 if with another red. I do happen to have another red, so that is going to be 35 points for Deanna. The following card is Dancer. He gets 8 points, but then 11 if no grays, so I get that. So that puts me at 19, and I believe I do have a gold, so he gets 19.
Okay.
Virga, this didn't do well, and I did pull it at the end.
But you took it from me, which is worth something.
I pulled it blind.
Oh.
Yeah, so I pulled this blind from the deck, so I didn't even know I was getting it. Actually, most of the cards, because I didn't like... The cards weren't working for the hand I was dealt, so I actually scouted a ton, or when I had a chance, pulled blind. So Virga got 10 points, and then my fleet track didn't hit any of those positions, so only 10.
Yeah.
Next, I have the Seer. She is 19 points, and had more if I had the Sovereign token, which I don't, so 19. This guy is Lorne. He does look like a grouch. He doesn't want to be with any other golds, but he did get me 35 points.
He is a grouch. He doesn't want to be with any other gold. He's like the gold.
And the last one.
How many points is that? Sorry, I got
35.
35.
Okay. And the last one is worth 13 and 17 more if there are 4 or fewer banished cards at the beginning of the end-game scoring. And there was. Take Quicksilver and gain 40 points. So I went and swapped that out at the very end, and I got the Sovereign token. And now I end the game with and banish any card from a location, but it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead of your 10,
take out the 10 and add 40.
40. Much better.
But no, hold on. There's more because of that minor.
He got 10 from this too.
Because that happened, the 11 here, I do now have the Sovereign token. The 19 changed to a 30. Sorry.
I did it. I found the 19. You had 2.
I have 2. Okay, because I was like, well, it's right there. Okay.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. So, back to the board.
Okay, to the board. For the fleet track. And we're going to do this for both of us real quick. So, I will get 15 points.
I have no idea that by telling you had another turn, though, you stole my Sovereign
token. You obligated to tell me.
It actually, so it's interesting. It makes me want to be Apollo, so you know you could get the...
Apollo was a nice character, which is how I got that huge score.
Sovereign token
you go first, and you get a second last.
Okay. So before we get too sidetracked.
15. I was not sidetracked from the gig. 15. I don't know.
That makes one of us.
You are 28.
So they can see this.
Okay. The influence.
So, 4 victory points for the person that has the most, 2 victory points for the person that has the second most, 1 for a third if you were playing with more than... This gameplay is 1 to 6.
Times the number of tokens.
Yes, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4, which is 28.
And I have 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, now back to what I was saying.
He now has a Sovereign token.
5 helium. Sorry. I get 15. Baley has 3 helium.
Perfect. There you go. You're showing everybody.
She gets 9. Okay.
I
had the Sovereign token.
He stole the Sovereign token, which is worth 10 victory
Sovereign
points.
token. Wyatt, 10. Baley, 0. And now we can score up her hand.
Okay. Here's what we come down to.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the...
You tell me where you want to start.
And then I got to think on something. Okay. So, here we are.
Let's start with him.
So, Pax. So, he gives me 15 points from the get-go.
Yeah.
Plus 20 if with an obsidian.
And she has it.
Shuffle.
Okay. There we go.
So
that's 35 points.
I did have to give out my Pulse Fist Engineer, which I never got back. Okay, so 35 points for him. Consider that a good thing. This one, Invictus, was really excited about this. So 19 points plus 16 extra if I am the most advanced on the fleet track.
35.
So, yes, 35 more points.
Okay. Next.
Okay, the next thing I had is the Judge. So, I have to wait to score her till I get all my cards from the Gambler. You have to wait. Yes, because if she gets 3 points for each of your cards.
Okay.
So, her score will come in after I get the Gambler. Okay, but this one, the Lawyer, 13 plus 22 if with the Judge.
Okay, perfect.
Found
so
them. They were like, want to be together. I love them.
35.
Yes,
okay.
35. So I got 35, 35, 35. And if you remember at the beginning, I said I shoot for 25 to 30. That's good. So these were good. Great. Grand. Okay. Next up, this is what we have going on. So we got to do a little discussion here.
Okay.
Because I have a Gambler, right? So the Gambler, at the end of the game, I get to name one non-gold color and reveal 7 cards from the top of the deck and gain all cards of that color.
A yellow. And she called white. And here's the Gambler.
And don't take the Gambler because we haven't done her full score.
And then she got a pink. So 1 card is going to go to her. These other 3 will not.
Yes. Obsidian. Oh, no, gray. He's gray. Okay, because I thought about calling Obsidian.
So that is 5.
6.
6. Ooh, so actually, wow.
Oh.
Can you believe that? We didn't get any of the same colors. This is a really well shuffled deck. Look at that. I mean, it's like everybody. Like, what's next?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
I can't look at this. It's still not the same color.
Went 2 down. Okay.
This is so well shuffled. We got every faction in, like, isn't there only 9 factions?
Yeah.
Did I just pull out every faction?
So this is really with my Gambler, because. All right, so with my Gambler, out of all of that, I got to keep the 1 white card. So unfortunately, she's only worth 7. So why it's well shuffled.
Okay.
BS.
7.
Made that better. So she is worth 7.
Okay.
Only.
All right.
Okay. However, she let me get this free justice card.
Mm-hmm.
He is worth 15. And it says, if you have the sovereign token, gain 1 card of your choice from Luna. Which that would have also been great. And I would have had that a little bit ago.
So an extra 15.
Extra 15.
Okay.
But she didn't pay out quite as much as that was low.
But Baley did beat me in every other category, so I think this is going to be a close race.
She came out to 22 points, which was not bad. Okay. So then next up, are you ready?
Oh, you still have more people?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, oh, good. This is looking better. But now I'm like, uh-oh. Go ahead.
So these don't score very much, though. Jofo, so he didn't get with anybody, so he's only worth 10.
10.
And then the judge is worth 10 plus 3 for each of my cards, which I think I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 21 plus 10, 31 points.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I got her early, and I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah. That actually panned out nicely.
Yeah, usually you always try to, I feel like, have... I was hoping to get a little bit more than 7 with the gambler.
The gambler really could have played into that. Yeah,
that's exactly. That. Yeah. So I was like, I got the judge, I got the gambler, and I was really excited about how those dynamics were going to work.
Who would you like to score first, me or you?
Do yours.
Okay, 270 for me. You got that?
Yep.
And for Baley, 233.
Oh, you beat me.
No way. I am blown away. I cannot believe that. I am not even going to lie. I felt...
Because of my card play.
At the very end, Baley had the opportunity. I was actually baffled that my score came out this far ahead just in this part. Because I thought her hand was playing together so well. You know, I wonder if that's the deception is her hands were deploying so much better than mine that she triggered the end game. But my hands actually were playing with what I had better together in my actual hand.
Yes, I didn't like any of my cards. I was constantly just like...
I didn't think of it that way, though. So that surprises me a ton. I thought I lost big time.
My cards, my cards were doing well, but the problem was, this is what got me, was that you buried my orange, which I needed to work for Jofo. Yeah. But then I had the gambler. So I was like, well, the gambler, I could either probably ask for an orange to make that happen. Yeah. And she didn't really pan out that way. And she did get me 15 points, but she didn't quite, holding on to her for so long, didn't quite give me as much as I thought she was going to benefit me with having the card that gave me 3 per 3
and what Baley's saying is very curious because we happened to pull out 1 card of each faction in 9 draws. And like we kept going, and so that's got to be rare. Or like if I held this up, like surely if she would have called whatever she called white. Okay, well,
maybe there's not very many white.
There might not be, and now that I'm looking at it,
maybe that's a dumb thing to call. Yeah,
I think you're right. There's not very many white. We didn't know that.
So I thought
it was equal. She wouldn't have called.
I wouldn't have called white I thought because I hadn't seen very many white, so I was like, oh, I'll call white.
I thought they were equal, but you're right. There's only
I thought they were equal as well.
There's only 4 whites in the whole deck.
Well, never call white, but that doesn't matter because they came out equal regardless.
They did. That's true. So in the setting, that wouldn't have been a detrimental situation. She could have got maybe slightly more points, but probably not nearly 40 points out of 1 card. Yes. Could happen.
But if I would have called orange...
Or brown. Or you could have called anything, I guess.
There wasn't an orange or a obsidian. So actually, of my 3 choices I was going to name, I actually got a card.
You would have got 1 blue.
I would have got a blue. I wasn't going to name blue.
Pellis came out.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
I'm so mad.
I really thought she won. I really thought I lost this whole time.
You guys, I want to win.
So actually, the nice thing about this is I did win the one where the audio was bad, but she won the one before. But now I'm kind of the ultimate victor right now because I'm 2 out of 3. But that being said, let's go to reviews and rankings. Do you want to start?
I'm too bitter right now.
Okay, then I will start.
I thought I was going to win.
No, I'm starting reviews and rankings.
Because you were belly
Don't poke me with a pin.
Can we just have a quick chit-chat?
Let's have a quick chit-chat.
This is what you do.
What do I do?
He was all down in the dumps, kind of starting to act like a little curmudgeon, because he thought he lost the game.
I get
and
curmudgeon-y.
all was lost in the world.
I'm a poor loser.
And I was having a good time. I was having a grand
I'm more fired up than I've ever been now, though.
Yes, and then he was just kind of like...
She handles losing better. It's better if I win.
But he's such a hard, tolerable winner to take. He's just so annoying, because I get smug. Yes, he's the worst.
I can't even hide my smile. I'm going to go into reviews and ranking. So, my opinion on this is that we have a collector's edition. I'll just start out there. Component quality is fantastic. That didn't sound good. Component quality used to be fantastic. The component quality on this game is fantastic. The cards are really well made. You know, we have metal tokens, and everything looks great. So in that category, 10. But in gameplay itself, this plays 1 to 6. I really feel like this only plays 2, and we can talk about that more later. But this plays well at 2, and that is fortunate for Baley and I, who often play against each other in this game. So it plays well for that, but it does take a long time to play this game, and there's a lot of reading. So you kind of end up like this, looking at cards, and some turns could take 10 minutes, you know, trying to like look over the board, look over what's in your hand, especially when it comes down to these in-game levels. But overall, for a 2-player game on this, due to how nice it is, the replayability of like, and I don't know if the theme, I don't know, I haven't read these books, but I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I really like this game. It is a little bit thinky. It's not for a beginner, but I personally like it at this juncture in my board game. I'm going to call it Journey. And so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Baley, what do you think of this game?
So I would say that I'm actually at an 8 for this game. And It's kind of the reasons you said. It's just a little bit for me where I don't always, at the end of the day, want to pull out Red Rising because I don't want to have to read the text as much. However, I would say as we've played, this is probably our 10th play, it's getting easier in the sense of like I knew what the investor was from playing it like the last couple times. And like I think it could be a really great 2-player game where you familiarize yourself with it, and then later it takes out the thinky player, and then maybe it could be a 9 in that scenario. But for overall, I'm going to say 8 because I think that it doesn't quite reach on all the levels I wouldn't imagine. And the reason would be is that you can kind of show them the board is a little bit small for.
So logistically, as you can see, if 2 people are sitting in between this board right now and the text is that small, I don't see how more than 2 people could ever read the text and logistically play this game. Baley did have a great idea that maybe you put it in the middle of a table on a lazy Susan and you rotate it around. If you played 6 people, because otherwise, I mean, people would be leaning in, people would be leaning out, but I definitely can't accurately play this game from far away. We've enjoyed playing this game. Yes. This is our 3rd playthrough. Unfortunately, some of our audio on the past stuff, but I hope this one is fixed, and I hope everybody enjoys our playthrough of Red Rising, a Jamie Stegmaier and Alexander Schmidt game based on a book that we haven't read, but we thoroughly enjoyed it. Baley rated it 8 out of 10, and I rated it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.